Hey people, the Book of Wisdom Volume 2 will be available October the 8th, 12 AM midnight. I will be releasing the new stage, the new era of human awakening. I can't wait to share this one with you. I just want to say thank you all for your support. There is limited stock and there will be no PDFs, only physical versions. I will be talking inside of this book about things that cannot be revealed online. I can't wait to share this one with you. Have an amazing Anunnaki never existed. They symbolize the different aspects of yourself. Anu, the god of the sky, is the living essence of the heavens. He represents above spirit. Ki was the goddess of the earth. Anu married Ki. Together they gave birth to the Anunnaki. You are spirit and matter. Anu and Ki. You are the Anunnaki. You fell from spirit and infused in matter. Ancient texts are encoded. They encoded their text to make you critically think, to make you become smarter. The Bible and any other ancient text should never be taken as history. They encoded their text to make you smarter. The Book of Wisdom Volume 2 is now available. There is only limited stock. You're cursing yourself if you do this. It's the Antichrist cross, which represents the brain and the heart and cutting the connection. The reason why this is bad is because your brain and your heart are directly connected. The cranial brain does the thinking, but every thought you think produces an emotion felt in the heart. In fact, the heart has its own neural network with 40,000 specialized cells, which are the same cells found in the cranial brain. Therefore, the heart is the second brain. However, the cranial brain has two hemispheres, therefore thinking with it can cause dualism and confusion. The heart has an intelligence of its own, just like the cranial brain. However, the heart does not have two hemispheres, it's a singular organ. So when you say follow your heart, this has a deep meaning, because the heart is the tablet that tells you what is right and what is wrong. When you hurt someone, you can feel it in your heart. The heart is the moral law within you that tells you what is right and what is wrong. That's why Jesus is always pointing at the heart. When you follow your heart long enough, this takes you to your life purpose. It's easy to connect to our heart intelligence. All you have to do is turn off the cranial thoughts, put your hand on your heart, and listen to the emotional intelligence. They don't want us connected to our hearts because this is where love and empathy comes from, and this is where our true life purpose resides. The Book of Wisdom Volume 2 is now available. You can get it in hardback exclusive edition or just paperback. They tell you that the sun hurts you, but they don't tell you that the old hospitals used to have sun depths because the sun detoxifies you by giving you electromagnetic energy. They tell you about the magnetic fields of magnets, but they don't tell you about the magnetic field around your body. Disease shows up in this field before it manifests physically in your body. The sun is electric, the earth is magnetic, and you are electromagnetic. This is why the ancients had grounding shoes to ground to the magnetic earth. Canes were not just for fashion, they were used for conductors of electromagnetic energy to ground the body to the earth. Now we wear sunglasses to block the sun's healing rays to entering our nervous system. We have lost true connection with our true nature, been turned into electrical batteries running through a matrix circuit board. Next stage of the human awakening begins October 8th. This is a revolution of human consciousness. If you don't agree with this video, you are heavily programmed. The mind cannot be filled up. It is not a physical substance. The body can be filled up because it is a physical thing, but you cannot fill the mind. Therefore, the mind is constantly expanding, ever expanding into new fields of thought. Consciousness is ever expanding on an infinite journey of evolution. Each individual is a part of this cosmic process, contributing towards the ongoing expansion of both mind and awareness. As we evolve, we collectively explore deeper levels of existence, expanding the boundaries of thought and consciousness. The mind has the ability to expand infinitely into new realms of thought, into new dimensions of mind.
These are real human brains, and they came from
If you like this content and are interested in our ebook or courses, please check out our website in our bio.
Potatoes are unhealthy, they are starchy and genetically modified. Beetroot is acidic to the human body, stay away from foods that grow under the ground. Egg bananas, they are starchy, they are genetically modified, acidic. Sweet corn is genetically modified, unnatural, acidic. Turmeric is genetically modified, the real turmeric is ginger, use the ginger instead. Coconuts, these are naturally grown on the earth, they are alkaline. Carrots are man-made, genetically modified, acidic. Peanuts, genetically modified, acidic. Grapes with the seeds are alkaline, they are naturally grown on the earth. Papaya is alkaline, use the seeds to eliminate parasites. Limes are acidic, use the key limes, the small ones with seeds. Key limes eliminate mucus. Kiwis are unnatural, they are genetically modified, acidic. Only eat oranges with the seeds. They are alkaline. Passion fruit is genetically modified, unnatural, acidic. Mangoes are naturally grown in the wild, alkaline. Dates with the seeds are alkaline. These are very good for putting on natural weight. Not all fruits and vegetables are healthy for your body because they are genetically modified and man-made. The food that was here on the day of creation assimilates with your body and becomes one with your body. The food that is generated by man will not. You need alkaline foods, people. If you have a yellow tongue, body odor, acne, skin issues, hair loss, runny nose, difficulty on the toilet, breath odor, and bloating, you need to detox your body. Weekend is when you're weakened from the weekdays. A daze is someone who's unable to think or react properly, a state of stunned confusion. Words are spells, this is why we call it spelling. Did you know your subconscious mind takes everything you say as truth? When you use these words, your subconscious mind is picking it up as truth. When you say something is good and say it's sick, you're calling yourself sick. Or bless is be less. Words are encoded and they have secret meanings. Veganism saving me, God is good, listen is silent, and love is evil. You can't do this with the ancient languages. This is why they changed it. Because the Bible tells you death and life are in the power of the tongue. Because when you talk, you create torus fields, which is an electromagnetic wave. We actually live in cycles, which is a circle. The sun and the moon is the yin and the yang on the flat earth. The psych L is the L, which is the 12th letter, which is the 12 zodiacs. This is the cycle, the circle that we live in. Whatever you do, stop consuming seed oil.
If you hold something positive in mind, instantly your body goes strong. If you hold something false in mind, instantly your body goes weak. You hold out your arm. When I press down, keep your mind blank. Don't pay attention to me.
Does she?
Now, I'm holding someone in mind. I'm holding someone in mind. And I want you to resist. She's very strong, see?
Okay, so who did you have in mind? I just want to know.
George Washington.
Oh, okay, tell me.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to hold somebody else in mind. Okay? I'm holding somebody else in mind. Now resist. She goes instantly weak. That was Saddam Hussein I was just talking about. So it's like George Washington's level of consciousness versus Saddam Hussein.
So you can actually get an accurate yes and no answer from the consciousness by using your own body.
You get a very fast and very accurate yes or no. Very accurate,
right?
Yeah. And this is what surprises people.
Okay.
Because it's impersonal. So it bypasses your opinion. It doesn't care what your opinion is.
Meaning the ego, the head.
Pathways in activating 100% of the dormant brain cells. Here's the Olympic torch, here's the spinal column and the sacred river, the Jordan River. It's all symbolism for our spines. Queen ceremony also represented this kundalini process of activating the pineal gland. Standing on the red carpet, which is the root chakra, the red chakra, which activates the 3 strands, which represents the Ida, the Pingala nerves and the spine. The light appears up the spine, which then goes to the tree, which represents the brain, illuminating the brain. And this is where we get the word enlightenment, light in the mind. This process then gives you the armor of God in the Bible, which is gaining a strong electromagnetic field, protecting you from the influence of negative energy. Presents under the Christmas tree symbolize the growth of mushrooms underneath trees, hence why Santa is red and white. Early Christian artwork all reflects the usage of mushrooms. They are known to alter states of consciousness, to see beyond the veil of the physical world. Why do you think Mario has to collect mushrooms to level up? It's truth in plain sight, because it levels up your mind to see beyond physical reality. Mushrooms are even shaped like the spine and brain. This is not a coincidence. Many ancient civilizations depicted the artwork of trees, because trees symbolize the connection between heaven and earth. The tree is also inside of us, which is the tree of knowledge, good and evil, the central nervous system. The serpent is the tree, is the sexual kundalini channels up the base of the spine. This is symbolized as the tinsel on the Christmas tree. The star at the top of the Christmas tree symbolizes the eternal light of the mind and the center of the brain. If you want to learn more about esotericism, symbolism and occultism, read my book, The Book of Wisdom. The link is in the bio. Noah's Ark never existed. It's a metaphoric story about you. Noah's Ark is in your brain. Noah meets God on a mountain. The mountain is your spine, and God is your consciousness. The mountain represents a heightened state of awareness, a higher consciousness. That's why Moses goes on a mountain to meet with God. God then floods the earth to kill all flesh. Earth rearranged is heart. Desire comes from the heart, and he flooded the earth, which is the heart, with water, which represents truth and enlightenment. God never killed everyone on the earth. It's metaphorical for you killing the desire of flesh and the desire of physical things and replenishing the heart. In order to progress spiritually and mentally, you have to heal the heart, because this is where all of your desire comes from. You must become God to know God. How can you know God if you are desiring the worldly physical things? All religion stems from the mastery of yourself to become God. None of the characters in the Bible existed. None of the stories are true stories. It's all metaphorical, written in code to how you raise yourself out of the lower carnal mind. The link is in my bio for the Book of Wisdom. There's nothing holy about Israel. It's an allegory. Isis, Ra, and El, left feminine and right masculine brains. When these two electrical forces unify and become the Star of David, this is when you unlock El, which means God, consciousness. The Holy Land is your consciousness. It's an elevated state of consciousness. Why do you think Moses went up on a mountain to meet with God? It's an allegory for raising your frequency, raising your consciousness, to altering it beyond physical. Noah's Ark, he goes on the mountain with God and kills all of the flesh. It's allegorical for raising your consciousness and killing the desire for physical flesh and physical material things, because your mind is not a part of the physical plane. It's a higher dimension. The mind is God. The Bible's written in allegorical code so that it engages us to use our right brains and decipher things and engage in critical thinking. Today, we're just given everything. We're given information. This is why we're so stupid. We need to use our right brains and decipher symbols. This is why the ancients were so advanced. The devil is the deveiling of your consciousness when your mind is stuck in a physical reality. Lust, food, money, fame, power. This is the devil. Red is the lowest vibrational color on the color spectrum, which corresponds to the surface level of your consciousness. He has goat horns symbolizing an animal. This is the animal nature of human consciousness. Red symbolizes rage, which is the lack of emotional control. Deep down within you, you are the fabric of the universe itself. You have the ability to create, turn thought into physical existence. This pencil was a thought before it was a physical reality. You possess the power of creation. You can use this for good or evil. Do evil is the devil and God is good. Reptilians do not exist. We're not being controlled by reptiles. There are three parts of the brain. The reptilian brain is mainly used when one is using survival needs. This is the instinctual part of your nature. People who control this world are mainly operating in their reptilian brain. It's all a metaphor. It's all scarcity to make you fear. Head is the heaven, earth is the heart, and heel is the hell. These are all states of consciousness. So is God, and so is the devil. The church is a scam. The devil doesn't exist. The devil is your own aspect of your mind, tempting you to engage in low-level pleasures. They worship Saturn. Satan is Saturn. Satan fell from heaven to earth, which is you, your mind, incarnating into physical. Satan means God in flesh. Hell comes from hail, which means physical. Your heel is hell, because your heel touches the physical earth. Your head is heaven, because this is where consciousness is, in the temple. Space is fake. The planets are spheres of consciousness and energy, which manifest the physical universe. Saturn is where time begins, and this is why they worship this world, the world of time. This is why in the Bible, Satan, who is the god of this world, because the god of this world is time. They worship Satan, which is Saturn, which is God in flesh, you bound by the body. Your soul died on the cross as it gave its life to the physical form. You are now Jack in the Box, which is the physical plane, the cube, or in Sega Saturn, the GameCube. Your body can only move 6 ways, and it's stuck within the limitation of time. Your mind can go forward and backwards in time, because it exists outside of this plane. The mind is heaven, which is the place where there is no space, no time, no matter. The mind is the true reality. The physical world is the false plane. You are the all-seeing eye, peeping into the third dimension, or the vesica Pisces. Because you came through the vesica Pisces, the womb, the portal. This is why you see Jesus in the vesica Pisces, because this represents you appearing in the third dimension. You were in the spirit realm, but you lost your vibration and fell into physical form. We are all fallen gods into physical matter, but your mind has access to the higher dimensions of consciousness. Goosebumps are piloerections, which happens when the two hemispheres of the brain are syncing together to create grey matter in the brain, which is the Christos, the kundalini, which goes down the spine. Resurrection. Res is resh, meaning head. Erection is the piloerection. If you cannot create a piloerection by will, you cannot raise your kundalini. If you can generate these goosebumps by will, you will feel a tingling sensation in the brain, which will then spread down the body. Use your mind to focus on this energy, this tingling sensation at the base of the spine, and raise it up to the brain again. You'll then feel your brain become hollow and filled with tingling sensations and light. It's one of the most divine experiences you could ever have. Oh, look at my skin. There's no goosebumps, nothing. This is all clear. Now watch this. This is mental control over the electric nervous system in the brain, sending electrical currents through the body. The tingling sensation you feel is the increase in brain activity. If you can't do it by will, you can practice this because it is a muscle. You can use frequencies as well to activate them. And when you feel the tingling sensation coming, you need to hold on to it and raise it from the base of the spine up to the brain. Symbols are magic. This is important, so listen. When you see the Nike symbol, this activates thoughts and emotions that you associate with the symbol in your mind. The thoughts you think manifest into imagination, which is the astral plane, the spirit plane. All of the minds in the world have associated this Nike symbol with a certain emotion and thought, which manifests as some sort of spirit in the astral plane. Yes, your mental energy creates demons and spirits within the astral plane. The more people that contribute towards this thought, towards this, the bigger and the more powerful the spirit becomes. When you wear this symbol, you are wearing the spirit of Nike. Depending on how people view that symbol, depends whether it has a negative or a positive charge on that spirit. If it has a negative spirit, you are then wearing a negative entity, a negative spirit. Wearing sigils can either benefit us or negatively impact us, depending on what sigils we wear and keep in our sight. Symbols are sigils and they carry astral energy. We are in constant rotation with the astral plane. Everything you think, say and do is done in the astral, which affects your astral to touch God, the invisible intelligence, and become the higher self. If you want to raise your consciousness, you cannot eat meat. Everything is red and blue because it symbolizes the physical world. Democrats are blue, Republicans are red. You have a red tap and a blue tap, red pill and a blue pill. They want you to believe the model of the atom is this because they want you to believe everything is physical. Everything you call physical is actually a holographic. It's light waves slowed down in motion. The true model of the atom is an electromagnetic torus field. The proton, the electron, the neutron. Magnetism radiates, which then produces an electrical vibrational phenomena. The physical world is a product of electricity, hence why you see the pattern of it everywhere. The red and blue light produced by magnetism manifests its duality into the physical world, day and night, hot and cold, good and evil. The symbol for phi is the torus field. The physical world is the phi cycle, the cycle of the atom, the torus field. Circle is the psych L. L means God. L is the 12th letter. 12 zodiac signs. The zodiac is the cycle of the electromagnetic torus field. So much more that goes into this, but if you want more information, read the book. Alcohol means body-eating spirit, al-kul in Arabic, hence why vodka is called spirit. Jinn is a jinn, which are invisible creatures in early religions. This is where jinx comes from. When you jinx something, it means bad luck, because the spiritual planes is what they are hiding from you. They want you to believe everything is just physical. Jay-Z's alcohol brand has a Knight Templar symbol called the Cross of Lorraine, which is one of the highest orders of Freemasonry. Alcohol destroys the connection between your oversoul and your physical body by destroying brain cells, which then makes you more vulnerable for demons to enter your electromagnetic field and take control. Society is being ran by an ancient dark cult which uses black magic and the dark usage of alcohol. Why do you think these are illegal and this is legal? The Masonic compass is a compass and a square. The compass for curves, which is the heavens, the dome. Square for flat planes, which is the earth, which then generates the Masonic Royal Arch symbol. It also represents the earth, the sun, the moon, the black sun, and Polaris. These are the symbols for the elements. The earth element is the sun, the moon, the black sun, and the flat plane. The sun rotates inwards and then outwards to create the summer and winter seasons. Tropic of Capricorn, the equator, and the Tropic of Cancer. The sun spirals inward to create a small rotation, which is summer for the northern hemisphere, then spirals outward to create the winter for the northern hemisphere, and repeats this process. The constellations are fixed and they rotate around us, creating a giant clock. The sun tells the time of day, the moon tells the month, and the stars tell the year. The sun and the moon rotate around the magnetic North Pole. This is the plane of inertia, planet Earth, and the northern lights come from the center. The sun and the moon represent the principle of creation, male and female. The sun being electric male, the moon being female, which is magnetic. They know this knowledge, but you don't. They want you dumb and stupid so that you don't know where you are and what you're doing here on this earth. But it's okay. I generated this book so you can find out the truth and so you can gain a purpose. Stick around if you want me to blow your mind. Hue, man. Hue means an attribute of a color. Color is light. We are light manifested into physical form. If you know anything about electromagnetism, you know these mini torus fields create reality. They are the true atoms. Each torus field is one unit of light. So then you go to Genesis and look at what the first thing ever created was. Let there be light. Genesis 1:3. John 1:5. God is light. So this means atoms are one unit of light, and these atoms create everything. This means everything is God. You are God, and everything you see around you is God. We live inside of the mind of God. So God, Allah, and Elohim all add up to 26 or 62. Add that together, that is 8. The symbol for the 8 comes from the torus field. Everything is infinite, everything is light, and everything is God. There is no God outside of you. We need to stop worshipping these false humanistic gods within religion. And we all need to manifest the God mind because we are all God. And this is why the Bible says, ye are gods. You are all sons of the Most High. We are microcosms of the macrocosm. 6 is the number of time, space, and matter. 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, 24 hours in a day. 2 + 4 = 6. Altogether, that's 666. The cube has 6 sides, and this is the geometric shape which gives rise to matter. Everything inside of the physical world has 6 sides: up, down, right, left, back, and forward. We live in a 3-dimensional physical world where everything has 6 sides. The cross of Jesus is an unfolded cube. In Mecca, they worship the black cube. And the famous toy of Jack in the Box. Cube symbolizes the physical plane, the triangle symbolizes the ethereal plane. In order to project our consciousness outside of the physical plane, where we are not bound by time, space, and matter, you have to think outside the box. It's truth in plain sight. We are Jack in the Box. The North Pole of Saturn, you have the cube. Add up all the sides, it creates a 6-pointed star with 6 mini triangles and 6 sides, 666. We are created out of carbon, and carbon is 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. The body is the mark of the beast because this is the mark of time, space, and matter. Our consciousness is hexed into time, space, and matter. And that's why the Bible says Satan, who is the god of this world. Satan is Saturn. Saturn is the god of this world. Saturn is pretty much the computer that we are in. Life is a file which gets recorded by the 2 eyes and stored within the mind. You do not encounter the external world. You experience electrical impulses on your nervous system. You do not see into reality. The eyes are black holes. They suck in the light and the image is produced in the visual cortex. There is no past and future. There's only an infinite and indefinite now, which is infinitely running. You're in a folded time and space simulation. Earth rearranged is heart because your body is simulating Earth to your consciousness. When the heart stops, you leave Earth, which is the body. You are eternal. You never die. Death is a transition. Stop wearing AirPods. The EMF frequency these items produce create inflammation in the brain and in the cells in our body. It also weakens your electromagnetic field, which weakens your physical body. Putting on the armor of God in the Bible is having a strong electromagnetic field so that no negativity can bother and affect you. Thoughts are electric, emotions are magnetic. Together this creates the electromagnetic field. Every thought has an emotion attached to it. Emotion is energy in motion, the torus field. Your thoughts create your emotions create the electromagnetic field from the heart. Love and happiness and high frequency internal states create strong electromagnetic fields. This is what you call a vibe when you meet someone. It's basically a manifestation of their internal emotional self. The things we use on a daily basis are harming our electromagnetic field and inflamming cells in our body. Orgonite crystals have the ability to block out EMF frequencies. Nikola Tesla knew that crystals were living, intelligent beings. Physical versions of the Book of Wisdom are now available. The link's in the bio. There's limited stock of these orgonite crystal necklaces. The link is in the bio. Take a look at this. A TV presenter accidentally did the Baphomet symbol. This was done live on television, but there is something more to this symbol. The Baphomet is good, it's not evil. Religion has miseducated you to think it's evil. I'm going to break this down to you from top to bottom so that you can gain an understanding. First of all, symbols speak to your subconscious mind. Symbols activate thoughts in the invisible realms of mind. Symbols are keys to understand higher things. This symbol can be used for good and the bad. The goat is a ground animal, represents the lower self, the ego. The wings are an air animal, represents the higher self, the elevated state. The dome he's sitting on is the earth element. The fish scales on the stomach are the water element. We have the fire element, also representing human enlightenment, the higher self, and the kundalini. The wings also represent the air element. As above, so below. What happens in the mind happens in your external reality. The moon represents emotion, the feminine aspect of your consciousness. The moon is either on top of you, ruling your body, or you are standing on top of the moon, controlling your emotions. This is not the devil horns. It represents the lower self, the moon controlling you, your emotions. He's male and female, representing polarity of the physical plane, left and right. The Baphomet is a symbol which symbolizes the transformation from the lower mind to the higher mind, to a sleep, to awakened and enlightenment. I have a whole new book of wisdom coming soon which will explain absolutely everything in detail. Freemasonic compass is a compass and a square. Compass for the circles, the square for the square. Circle is the eternal plane. This is the mind, the soul, the spirit which is within us, where there is no time, no space, no matter. This is the no beginning, no end. The square has beginning and end. This is the physical plane. This is where material things manifest from the mind, the eternal plane. This is where time, space, and matter and limitations exist. The Leonardo da Vinci Vitruvian Man is showing you the man in the square with the eternal circle outside of the square. The circle, which is the mind, the eternal self, the consciousness, manifests the physical plane. It is circles over squares, which is why the compass is on top of the square. The G is 7 because the 7 planets or spheres of energy manifest this physical material world. This is the generative principle of the 7 planets, the 7 days of the week, the 7 metals, the 7 diatonic tones, 7 colors. The celestial bodies are spheres and they rule over the earth, which is astrology. They give their energy to the earth, influencing the earth. The earth is the square. This is spheres over the square. We need to think outside of the box to reach our eternal self, which is mind. The mind is eternal, it is infinite, it has no limitations. Everything can exist in the mind. There is no limitation. Your body is a temple. These Egyptian temples were not for worship. These temples were 3D schools, which communicated to the student through a sophisticated language of symbols, volumes, and proportions, revealing ancient wisdom. They started their journey in the entrance, which represents the heels, because the temples were built in the human form, because they understood that God is within man, implying that man embodies the universe. The same principles that govern man are also the same governing the universe. It was a school teaching mental and spiritual ascension, to go from matter to spirit, from heel hell to head heaven. That's why the entrance is at the heels, representing the physical plane, the physical self, the lower carnal mind. The body wants the physical pleasures. Then raising up through the symbolism in these rooms up to the head, heaven, which is the spiritual place. It is the spinal column that is the stairway to heaven. The Bible even talks about this, but you're just not reading it correctly. The word Yahweh means I am. Jesus in French is I am. Jesus in Latin is you are us. Be still and know that I am God. It's the I am within you is God. I am the light of the world. You project your own reality. You are the universe experiencing itself. You are a fractal of the consciousness of the universe, which is God. Satan represents your lower carnal mind that wants the fleshly desire. Book of Wisdom Volume 2 is nearly... Let's get into this thing right here. It's called the cabalistic tree, and it can be found on your body and even your hands. This is the process in how the universe works. It goes from nothingness and manifests through the 10 spheres into physical reality, which is Malkuth, Earth. Low vibrating light falls into matter, high vibrating matter turns back into light. There are 10 spheres, 1 dath, and 22 pathways. All of this adds up to 33. This is why Jesus dies at 33, because it represents being spirit and manifesting into human form, and our consciousness giving its life to the physical body, which is the cross. Because our consciousness falls through the 33 segments of this tree and manifests into Malkuth, which is Earth, physical reality. Jesus takes 5 wounds on the cross because this represents the 5 ways your consciousness interacts with this material universe. The 10 spheres are the 10 planets, but there are 7 major ones because time begins with Saturn, and from Saturn there are then 7 spheres down to Malkuth. Saturn rules this world because this world is governed by time. So this is why there are 7 planets for the 7 days of the week, 7 metals, 7 colors, everything is 7. The planets are entirely luminous, you can never land on them, they are not physical rocks, they are manifestations of universal energy at different points of creation. You descended from spirit to matter, now you need to raise your consciousness, which is the spine, the stairway to heaven, and go from earth to spirit and turn matter into light. This is why I wrote this book, so you can understand everything in the universe. Females represent magnetism. This is why they are curvy and attractive. Males represent electricity, which is the action-taking force. This is because everything is created out of electromagnetism. This is the real atom. This field spirals while coming inwards and outwards. The out force is the male, which is the red, and the in force is the female. This creates red shift, the out force, the in force blue shift. This is why everything is red and blue. Roses are red, violets are blue. God, Allah, Elohim are all names for the Supreme Being. They all add up for 26. 26 is 8. 8 is the torus field. God is light. God is energy. Everything is God. We are all God. 0 and 1, the binary code of all creation. 0, the cosmic womb. 1 is the action-taking force, male and female, comes from the torus field. 0 and 1. The phi symbol is the torus field. Physical is the phi cycle, the cycle of the atom, which is a torus field. Day and night, we live in cycles. If you open your eyes, you will see magnetism in every aspect of creation. Everything physically is electric. Everything runs off electricity. Without electricity, your body couldn't move and the world wouldn't exist. Your brain is an electrical computer, and it is the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Ever wondered why all of the ancients used to hold canes? The earth is electromagnetic. The canes they used were made out of wood and metal because it conducts electricity. Book of Wisdom. It will tell you everything you need to know about reality, the human energy field, and so much more. The link is in the bio.
Stop using forks. Did you know these forks are ruining your digestion? When you eat, your body needs to touch the food to activate the digestive system, or else it will be reduced. Humans possess trichromatic vision, meaning our brains are wired to seek color, because our brains are wired to seek fruit, which is food. Food does not run away from you on legs. Green fruits, this is for detoxification. Orange fruits, this is for cleansing and removing waste from the body. Red fruits, this is for the blood. This is why all the fast food restaurants use red, orange and yellow, because our eyes catch red, orange and yellow the fastest, because they want to attract you to eating their poison. We're watching this video because the colour of the fruit in the beginning of the video caught your attention. Do not fall for their trap, give me a follow. Alcohol means body-eating spirit, al-kul in Arabic. That's why vodka is called spirits. A jinn is a jinn, which is another type of spiritual entity. Alcohol was developed by alchemists who developed a way of extracting spirits from liquid. Alcohol is a form of a magic potion which the ancients used to alter their consciousness. They don't tell you about the astral and etheric plane, the realms beyond physical. Alcohol contains ethanol, which is ethanol, which is the barrier between the physical and the astral plane. Ancient magicians used potions to enhance their speed, strength, or whatever they want. Alcohol is a demonic potion which enhances aggression and violence because you're being possessed by these entities in the astral plane. Alcohol weakens your vibrational field, which allows these entities to enter your body. This is why people change to dark behaviors when they're intoxicated. The entities within them engage in violence and low-level sexual encounters. The whole world is drinking magic potions used for witchcraft. Why do you think you can buy alcohol in every shop and there's a pub on every street? Alcohol also weakens the immune system, kills brain cells, and reduces amounts of oxygen to reach the brain. Magic never disappeared. It was veiled in myths and stories to make it seem like a fantasy. 24-hour sale. Use the code HAPPY to save 15% on the Book of Wisdom. I will never recover from these images that I've just found. Giants definitely existed. Take a look at the size of these people only around 100 years ago. Now imagine the size of these people around 500 years ago or 1,000 years ago. They would have been 10 times bigger than this. The oxygen levels were way higher 1,000 years ago, so just imagine the size of these people. Now what I'm going to show you at the end is going to blow your mind. I think these people were purposely wiped out. Why do we not see them now? What happened to their genetics? Why have they not reached this generation? One thing that you may have not noticed, which is the fashion these people are wearing. Why has humanity lost their sense of beauty and classiness? I have yet to see one obese person in any of these images, which is absolutely crazy. They all look healthy, well-informed, and well-mannered. Humanity has truly lost their ways. Now take a look at this. Maybe this is why the Egyptians showed giant people in their artwork, and maybe their statues were the true size of these humans. I thank you all for being part of this journey. I've now hit 1 million followers on TikTok. There are 3 aspects of your consciousness: thoughts, emotions, and actions. If you align them all towards your goals, you will create the reality that you want. To celebrate, use the code WISDOM for 40% off the Book of Wisdom or anything in the store. Porn is free because you are the product. Releasing too much is causing you to become mineral deficient. So stop being a loser and repost my content to earn up to 50% commission on every sale. You can sell the Human Health Guide, Orgonite EMF protecting necklaces, and most famously, the Book of Wisdom. The Book of Wisdom comes in French, Italian, German, and English and French, so you could even translate my videos to make money that way. This is one of my biggest affiliates, and he's grown his account from 50k to 188k. These people have all been making money off my videos and selling my products. It's literally that easy. If you want to join, go to the comments section. The brain is not your mind. The mind's the intelligence, the brain's the computer, the nervous system's the machine. Choice, program, and action. You are not the body, you are the invisible intelligence. Every thought has an emotion attached to it. Thoughts are electrical, emotions are magnetic. Your emotions are felt in the heart, and the heart produces the electromagnetic field. Your emotional state will create your vibe, and your vibe will attract your tribe. You attract whatever frequency that you operate on. Mind creates matter. The external world mirrors the state of your internal thoughts and emotions. You set your frequency with your mind, with your thoughts. This is why we call it a mindset. You've got to set your mind to the frequency of what you want. And when you become that frequency, you will attract that frequency. You right now are a result of your past thoughts. In order to change your future, you've got to change your thoughts now. Your emotions are not what you've been taught. It is energy in motion. Your emotions are not meant to be reactive. You are meant to control your emotions because they are a creational force which attracts things to you. Your emotions were given to you so that you can manipulate matter. We live in a holographic world, people. It is projected from within yourself. You change your internal world, you change your external world. If you want to learn more, the link is in the bio for the paperback Book of Wisdom, worldwide shipping. Porn is free because you are the product. You are paying with your semen, the astral liquid of the soul. This is why you're so tired after you release, because it's your etheric life force which you are draining. Releasing may cause you to become mineral deficient. Semen retention allows the body to recycle the minerals in the fluid to feed the body. Sex is the most powerful emotion the human can feel. The semen has the minerals to create a whole nother human being. So imagine how powerful this is when you retain it. You should only release when having a baby. Now this is where transmutation comes in. You can transmute the saved energy you've saved from not releasing into critical thinking or any activity you want. You will be stronger, your energy will be through the roof, and you will attract more people. Your generative energy is the most powerful energy your body has. Do not waste it, which then allows the brain to process more information and become enlightened. You will literally become a superhuman by saving your seed. Jesus never existed. He represents a high state of consciousness which you can reach. Religion is the externalization of truth. A sin is not an action, it's an internal emotion which goes against the higher self. That's why the 7 deadly sins are emotions and internal states. These stop you from reaching your potential of Christ consciousness. Depression doesn't exist. It is deep rest. You are resting too much. Your whole purpose is to create, to bring thought into physical existence. This pencil was a thought before it was physical. Your whole life you've been doing it. But when creation is minimal in your life, this is when you gain mental illness. But you can't fix a mental illness with a physical pill, because your mind is not a physical thing. It's a spiritual consciousness, where all things originate from. Everything begins as thought. You have to create in your life. You have to be working towards something in your life. You have to gain happiness. You will never gain happiness sitting on your phone, sitting around doing nothing. You are trapped within a cage, the rib cage. You are made out of cells, a prison cell. You're trapped in the matrix, which means womb, which is maths, material, tricks. Physical world is the false world. It's the manifestation of the higher dimensions. Everything physical began as a thought and an imagination before it manifested physically. You were mental and astral before you had a physical body. You died on the cross, the physical body. You took the 5 wounds on the cross, the 5 senses. The mind is not the brain. The brain works exactly like a computer. Your mind is experiencing the brain, which is running the simulation of the physical world. You touch, taste, hear, and smell with your brain. What you're experiencing is the nervous system and the brain, not the world. Your ego is the echo of your true self. Your ego is your mind's interpretation of your physical self. The third eye is the mind, and the mind can expand to beyond physical reality. The matrix is designed to keep your mind stuck in 3-dimensional awareness. That's why it's designed to keep you addicted to external physical things. When you die, your mind will still have these addictions and reincarnate. The Bible's not about Jesus, it's a manuscript on how you raise your consciousness to beyond physical reality. Material reality has limitation. Your mind does not have limitation. You come here to limit your mind and learn. My university tells you everything you need to know plus more. Plus we have a whole library. You are a slave. When you are born, you get a birth certificate. When a ship pulls up to its bay on water, it's called the birth canal. When it pulls up, it gets a certificate of manifest certifying all the products on the ship. When you are born on water through the birth canal, you get a certificate of manifest. This is because you are now a product and you showed up on water, and this represents your cooperation. This is why when you die, you're called a corpse. So when you get a letter and your name is in full capital letters, this is not you. This represents the cooperation that you have agreed to identify with. You can't tax a physical body, but you can tax a cooperation. When we are born into a copyrighted timeline created by Pope Gregory. Therefore, on paper, we are owned by the Vatican because our names, our corporations, are assigned to a copyrighted timeline. You're an electromagnetic battery. This is why you get charged in a court, and when you get charged, you sit in a cell, a battery cell. This is why cities look like motherboards, because we have produced electricity. A city is electricity. Do you understand is a trick question. When a law enforcement asks you this actually means do you stand under the law, not if you understand something. The English language is used against you so that you submit yourself to the law. If you like Star Wars, you literally have no life. Give me a bank is a river bank because it directs the currency. Money is water. This is why we say liquidity. Sun and moon, masculine, feminine, fire and water. Money is moony. This is the water aspect, the female. Hence why there's a correlation between the full moon and the new moon and the forex market. The moon attracts the water's tides. This is why the sea levels are higher wherever the moon is. The moon has an effect on our mood because we are 80% water. Your birth certificate is not you. It's the corporation that you represent because you choose to identify yourself with the name, which is the corporation. When you die, you're called a corpse. You are not the name, you are the I am, which is the invisible intelligence, consciousness. You get charged in a court because you're a battery, and then sit in a cell, a battery cell. Don't use the code SPRING8 to get 26% off. Are trapping your soul within the earth. You are body, mind and soul. The soul is the watcher, the observer. The mind is the projector. The body is what the soul lands in when the mind projects you into. Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. You are the consciousness experiencing the program being ran by the central nervous system. The central nervous system is playing the simulation that your consciousness is experiencing. Now, your body is the earth. 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons. The body is the mark of the beast of the simulation. The soul-luring system is within yourself. The 7 planets are the 7 chakras. They are the 7 seals in the Bible because they seal your true soul form. What the archons are doing are keeping you in the lower states of consciousness by chemical food addictions and keeping you in fear so you identify as the physical body. Because the mind is the bridge between the soul and the body. By tricking your mind, it traps your soul in this physical body, which is the earth. Death has the word ether in it because when you die, you go from the physical to the astral plane. If you die with a false identification of the self in the lower states of consciousness, you will die with an extra veil on top of your soul which you need to strip off, which will then cause you to reincarnate into the physical world. Devil is deveil. You deveil yourself by lack of knowledge of wisdom of.
Why do we never see the moon enter and exit the sun during an eclipse?
We were all waiting for the moon to actually show up to cause this eclipse, and all we found was no moon showed up.
It's impossible for us to see the sun and the moon out at the exact same time if we live on a spinning ball. It can't be a coincidence that the sun's rays creates the Masonic compass. All of the people who created the globe model were all showing the compass in their portraits. Notice how they all show the globe model and the compass together in their portraits, because it's truth in plain sight. The compass is the real cosmology. The earth element symbol is even showing you the black sun, the land, and the sun and the moon. We live in a soul system, not a solar system. The stars are the start of the soul system. We then descend through the 7 energies, which give us the 7 energy centers in the body. Then we land in the heart of the soul system, which rearranged spells Earth. At the center of this Earth is the North Pole, and above the North Pole is Polaris, because it's a pole of electromagnetic energy. This is why all compasses will point there. If you want to learn more on occult topics, esoteric teachings, and syncretism, get my book, The Book of Wisdom PDF. The link is in the bio.
The sun is local. It only sets due to our perspective of its setting. The sun never truly sets. It moves across a flat plane, only setting to the human vision. If it was truly 93 million miles away, how could something so big become so small when setting? It is all an illusion. How is it that the sun can be underneath the clouds when it is meant to be 93 million miles away? It's impossible for the sun and the moon to be out at the same time. The stars have never changed ever since the day of creation. The stars are light which influence our body, mind and consciousness. NASA are using fisheye lenses. When we go up to the same height, we never see the same curvature. They are hiding the true cosmology. They are hiding the divine creation that we are in. The sun is electric, the moon is magnetic. The sun gives you energy, the moon takes your energy. Male and female. The moon governs liquids on the earth and in your body. This is why the tides on the ocean follow the moon. The menstrual cycle is the moonstral cycle. It takes 14 days for the moon to wax or wane to a full or new moon. It takes 14 days for the egg to become mature in the ovaries. Month is a month. The moon travels around the zodiac every 28 days. Body, mind and soul. The earth is your body, the moon is your mind, the sun is your soul. The moon is your mind. This is why we say lunatic
or in your mind you have a specific mood, which is moon. You can use the moon to your advantage. Start a new project or a new chapter in your life when there is a new moon, because then it will be growing with you. We do not live on a spinning ball in space. Everything is divinely created. The yin and yang is the sun and the moon, the day and night, good and evil. We live in a dualistic realm, people. This book is going to give you the knowledge so that you can understand yourself and the realm you are in. The link is in the bio to get your hard copy, or you can get the PDF. There is worldwide. Stop eating when the sun is setting. When you chew until it becomes a liquid. Your digestive system cannot digest chunks of food. The sun powers your digestive system and your body. When you eat something when the sun is not present, this is going to cause issues with your digestive system. Stop mixing foods. Mixing animal flesh with potato and bread will cause the food to solidify within your body, leading to constipation and the birth of parasites. Acne is undigested food coming through your skin. Your body's elimination methods are all blocked, so it finds a way out through the skin. Your cells are electric. Your brain produces electricity. It's made out of copper and carbon. And you are electromagnetic. The human body runs off electricity. It is an electrical machine. You need electric food grown under the electric sun. The sun is electric. The earth is magnetic. You are the conductor of the sun and the earth. You are electromagnetic. The sun is food for your body. It charges your cells electrically. There's a reason why veganism rearranged is saving me, and slaughter has the word laughter in it. You're a herbivore, that's why your jaws swing sideways when you eat. And you do not have canines to rip open flesh. Your hands are made to pick things, not rip things open with claws. All of these ancient legends were all vegan. Eating meat is a form of witchcraft. You are eating adrenochrome.
Like before, one side was connected to ground, while the other was attached to the aerial wire. And after just a few seconds, hey, she's spinning. This is just remarkable. It never really spun that fast, but I just sat and enjoyed the miracle. I mean, I quite literally was siphoning energy straight from the atmosphere. This motor was operating off of several kilovolts, which you could actually hear if you stopped the motor and brought your finger near the aerial wire. That's the sound of coronal discharge.
You're using AirPods, your brain is being attacked by electromagnetic radiation. Your hair is an antenna for the nervous system, which picks up frequencies and energy. Radiation from these Bluetooth devices are destroying your nervous system. It's also destroying the energy field around your body. Every cell in your body has an electromagnetic field. All of these cells come together and form the overall electromagnetic field. Radiation from these devices are causing inflammation in cells, which then causes your field to become weaker, which then causes your body to become ill. It is said that the strength of the field is directly correlated to the health of the body. Some studies show that illness shows up in this field before it manifests in the body. Therefore, illness may not be something that we catch. It's the result of us lowering our frequency to match the frequency of illness. That's why in this book, there is a frequency for every single illness that exists. By listening to the frequency, we're healing our field, which will then heal our physical body. So to save your health and your energy field and your nervous system, use Wired as much as possible. If you want more in-depth content about personal things and how to progress in life, join the exclusive. Or join the other 22,000 people in my Telegram. Alkaline versus acidic food. Carrots, man-made, acidic. Seeded dates, powerful, alkaline. Sugarcane, this is acidic. You will never find this growing on its own. Organic apples, very good for the blood, alkaline. These bananas are acidic. They are hybrid. They are full of starch. This will harm you. Dragon fruit, acidic. You will never find this growing on its own. It was not here on the day of creation. Mangoes, alkaline. Blueberries are very powerful for the brain and the eyes, alkaline. Raspberries, very good for the blood, alkaline. Stay away from anything that grows under the ground. You want things that are charged by the sun. Potatoes are full of starch. They are man-made. God never made anything with starch, acidic. These baby bananas are the real bananas. Lettuce is acidic. This will never be grown on its own, man-made. Instead of the Hass avocados, use the Jamaican avocados. Spring onion, alkaline, very good for detoxification. Coconuts, alkaline. Plantain, full of starch, acidic. Walnuts, shaped like the brain, very good for the brain, alkaline. Butternut squash, alkaline. Genetically modified food will genetically modify you. Stay away from all hybrid and man-made food. Get charged in a court because you're a battery, and then go to a prison cell, which is a battery cell where it holds your energy. They are harvesting your energy in prison. If you astral project and go to a prison, you'll see this for yourself. Energy cannot escape cubes. Everything today is built in cubes to trap energy. The ancients knew this. This is why their rooms were never square. They had pointed roofs for energy to escape. Everything you see molds your mind in some form or way. Cubes and squares are the most limited shapes. By seeing cubes and squares all the time, this is subconsciously limiting our minds. The ancients built with beauty and sophistication because they understood what they see has an effect on their mind. They changed this to dull us down, to make things more simple, to make you more simple. Environment, it's all mental, it all has an effect on your mind. I think you can work this one out yourself. Minds are expanding and people are progressing inside of the ethereal university. Do not stay in the shadow of ignorance. Progress your life with knowledge, people. Smoking is witchcraft. Every plant has a spirit, a consciousness. Burning the plant releases the essence, the spirit of that plant. Inhaling the smoke is inhaling the spirit of that plant, which is infusing that consciousness with yours and making you become high. If you smoke tobacco, you're addicted to the spirit of tobacco. That spirit has control over your consciousness. Witchcraft is not evil. It can be used for good and bad. Smoking the devil's lettuce can be used for good and bad. You invoke the spirit of the plant. If you smoke lettuce with a bad mindset, you're invoking anxiety spirit. If you smoke with a positive, high vibrational mindset, you open your consciousness. You are the magician. You are the invoker of the spirit. Smoking plants with no self-control will invoke the spirit to control you. If you're going to smoke lettuce, use it to meditate and access deep meditation, or use it in ritual to reprogram your subconscious. Whatever you do, never smoke on a full moon, and stop using it to escape reality. Use it to open up your consciousness or to reflect on your life and access deep thought. Doing it every day will just make you lazy and you'll get nowhere in life. The link is in my bio for the free Telegram for free content.
Simatic plates give the ability to visualize sound and frequency. Every frequency has its own geometric pattern. Frequency, energy and vibration is what molds the physical world around us. The ancients had a deep understanding of this and reflected geometry within their building. Churches were never a thing. These buildings were not used for worship, instead used for healing with frequency and sound. Because your body is 80% water, the frequency produced by the organs within these cathedrals would heal the people in the building. They were called organs because they healed your organs. Every word that you speak and hear, every thought that you think, and every emotion that you feel is a cymatic frequency, either benefiting you or destroying you. There was a period of time where all of the ancient healing bells were taken and destroyed. We need to rebel and rebel the buildings with these healing frequencies. Not long after this, they changed the standard music tune into A440 Hz, which is hurtful to the brain and our cells. This is why I stay far away from Spotify, Apple Music and YouTube for music. Experience genuine binaural beats with Mindwave Hub. They produce meditation tracks, hemisync tracks and all sorts of great frequencies which are going to benefit you. The link's in my bio to join. Porn drains your sexual energy, which is your orange chakra, and this is why it's orange. Sexual energy takes over the mind and influences your body. This is why it's the most potent emotion the human can feel. It is symbolized as the serpent tempting you to eat the fruit, because it's tempting you to release your sacred fluids. Sexual transmutation is transmuting the sexual energy into other aspects of your life. It can either be kundalini, critical thinking, or even the gym. The spine has two coils wrapped around it, which is the energy channels for your kundalini to go up to the brain. The resurrection of Christ is nothing but a metaphor for rise erection, rising your erection sexual energy to the pineal gland to activate 100% of our brains, to activate Christ consciousness. This is known as being born again and seeing the kingdom of God in John 3:3 for the 33 vertebrae on your spine. Your sexual fluids have a strong energy behind them, and this energy can create a whole new human being. So imagine how powerful that is if you retained it.
We become mentally, physically, and spiritually stronger by holding this fluid. This is why it's free, because it makes you weak. You are the product. Smelly breath is not natural. Smell is coming from your gut, from the toxic food that you're putting inside of you. Body odor is also the rotten food inside of you coming out of your skin. Every 90 days, every cell in your body is brand new, made from the food that you have put in your body. And every 2 years, your whole body is brand new. Putting death in your body will result in aging quicker. Putting life in your body is the opposite. The sugar in fruit is not bad for you. You can eat as much as you want. Your bad breath, your body odor, is the rotting food inside of your stomach. You will never get bad breath or body odor with this. And did you know 80% of your immune system resides in the gut? Your gut is a second brain, and every disease is linked to the microbiome in your gut. Every 3 months, you should be cleansing the gut to get rid of all of the excess food that is left over. You can do this by juicing or consuming a fruit-only diet. This will help push out and eliminate any waste foods and toxic mucus within the gut. Sugar in your teeth is called a cavity. Sugar in a baby's brain is called ADHD. Sugar in an adult's brain is called dementia. Sugar in your skin is called aging. Sugar in your body is called cancer. Sugar in your blood is called diabetes. Sugar in your eyes is called glaucoma. Sugar and alcohol kill good gut bacteria. Seed oils in your skin is called sunburn. Acne on your skin is undigested food. Bad breath is actually a smelly, rotting gut. Body odor is the smell of your gut coming out your skin. Never sit like this, sit like this. Your cells are new every 90 days. If you eat electrical live food, this will regenerate your cells, which can stop aging. After 3 days of fasting, your body produces stem cells to regenerate the body. If you want to heal your body, get rid of the sugar, the dairy, and the meat, and stick with the fruits and veg. Your brain's the Garden of Eden. The pineal gland is the throne of God and the gateway to heaven. The Pope's staff represents the spine and the 2 Kundalini channels and the pineal gland. Salvation is salt. The brain produces a salt, a fluid which goes down the spine, which you must resurrect through your erectional energy back to the head, which is resh, in Hebrew for head. By following the word of God, following your inner guide, you save your salt and you raise it. Once you do this, you then have the key into the kingdom of heavens, the realms beyond the physical, to access the dimensions within your mind. Also the Holy Grail, or the power symbol. In the Vatican, you have the pine cone, and this is the head. It is the Pope holding the pine cone. We are all God. There is no God outside of you. Everything is God. All religions were made to make you look outside yourself so that you can become powerless. All religions are corporations. It's all a scam to keep you a slave.
Paperback versions of the Book of Wisdom are now available on our new website. You can get your copy in English, German, Italian or French. Worldwide shipping is available for a large amount of countries. All of my courses and ebooks are available on the new website, as well as the Wisdom Academy. Go and get your physical copy of the Book of Wisdom today, because learning truth gives you an inner sense of well-being. Align your mind with the divine. The link is in the bio.
Less is be less you. When something is really good, we say that is sick. Another word for good is wicked. That is wicked. The English language is full of hidden spells. This is why we call it spelling, because every word you say is creating torus fields, which is energy and frequency. Frequency is the only thing that can penetrate your body without your consent. You can choose what you put into your body, but you cannot choose what you hear. Every frequency you listen to and produce has an effect on your cells and electromagnetic field. When this field becomes destroyed, your body becomes destroyed, because energy and frequency comes before physical matter. It is the creator of physical matter. English is the most spoken language in the world. They want everyone to speak it because it's filled with double meaning words which cast hidden spells. Mourning is the feeling you feel when someone has died. Why do you think the Bible says death and life are in the power of the tongue? Truth is always hidden in plain sight. Who remembers playing hopscotch as a child? You're probably wondering what this tree represents. It's the descent of manifestation. All creation begins as an emanation from the mind, thought. From subtle, thought unfolds into spirit and then descends into matter. You are not the body, you are the divine mind. Your whole life you've been bringing thought into physical reality, Malkuth. You come from heaven, which is the higher realms of consciousness, and you descended into physical reality. Luke 10:18, I watched Satan fall from heaven like a flash of lightning. Here's heaven, here's the flash of lightning. It's the manifestation of mind into matter. You represent Satan, a fallen state of consciousness, because matter is the lowest state of consciousness. 10 spheres, 22 different pathways, and 1 death, which adds up to 33. Jesus is the body, the Christ is the divine mind within you, and you manifested through the 33 segments of this tree into Malkuth. You died on the cross, which is your body, and got the 5 wounds, the 5 senses of the physical universe, Malkuth. You came from spirit to matter. Now you got to go from matter to spirit through spiritual awakening, mental transmutation, and love. Christians knew about it, and it's even on your hands. Hopscotch is a game which represents the path back to source, back to God. Book of Wisdom Volume 2 is nearly ready, people.
You don't need food, you need charging. There are many different ways you can charge the body, like grounding and standing next to trees. You are a biological battery. When you feel quote unquote hungry, this is not hunger, this is the body getting rid of toxins within the colon. It's important that you fast, because when you fast, you regenerate your cells after 3 days. This is real food. Humans possess trichromatic vision, which means we are literally attracted to seek color. Our brains are wired to find electromagnetic colorful food, not dead rotten flesh. Hue, man. Hue means an attribute of a color. Color is light. We are light beings manifested into physical form. You need to eat electrical food that will charge you. This is why you get charged in a court, because you're a biological battery. And when you get charged in a court, you sit in a prison cell, a battery cell. It's not a coincidence the word veganism rearranged is saving me. The power of language shapes our perception of reality. By employing more neutral terms on our food, it makes the food more palatable to eat. Rotten milk is cheese, dead flesh is called meat, and a pig's bottom is called ham. If we used the true terminology of these products, we would not eat them. We live in an electromagnetic world, people. You need electromagnetic food. Link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom paperback. There is limited stock and there's worldwide shipping.
Broccoli is man-made, not healthy. Spinach is acidic, this is man-made. Seedless grapes are acidic, they are hybrids. Guava is alkaline, this is natural. Papaya alkaline, use the seeds to eliminate parasites. Mangoes are naturally grown in the wild, they are alkaline. Cherries alkaline, use key limes instead of limes. Key limes have seeds and they are very small. Alkaline. Pears are alkaline. Red onions alkaline. Peanuts are acidic, they are man-made, they are hybrid GMOs. Coconuts very powerful, they are alkaline. Courgettes are alkaline. Spring onions alkaline. Sweet corn is a GMO. This is not healthy, acidic. Use Jamaican avocados instead of the Hass avocados. If your fruit does not have seeds, that fruit cannot reproduce. It's genetically modified. This is a real grape. 80% of the fruit and veg that you consider to be healthy for your body is unhealthy. The Human Health Guide gives you a list of the fruits, nuts, vegetables, grains, oils that were here on the day of creation and not man-made. Meat is poison. Fruits and vegetables assimilate with your body, meaning they become one with your cells. Illnesses show up in your field before it manifests in your body. Therefore, every illness is a frequency. And this is what quantum healing is. They scan your electromagnetic field and generate a frequency to heal it. Illnesses exist on a low vibration, so when we consume flesh, we are negatively impacting our spirit, our frequency, to match illnesses. When we raise our frequency through positive emotion, thoughts, and eating electrical food which does not run off from you when you try to eat it, this raises your frequency, and then you no longer match the frequency of diseases. Meat might have some nutritious value to your physical body, however, it destroys your spirit. The negative energy the animal was feeling when it was being slaughtered is still within the meat. You have been programmed to consume adrenochrome, which is blood-consuming adrenaline, which is in the meat. It's a psychological warfare. They employ neutral terms to cover up the true meaning of the food, because the words become our reality, our perception. They called flesh meat, they called rotten milk cheese. If you want to upgrade your health, think positive, feel positive, charge your body on the earth every single day, listen to positive frequencies, cut out the demonic music, and eat vegetables and fruits raw, and this will make you thrive. Jesus never existed. Jesus represents the sun with his 12 disciples, the 12 zodiac signs. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, and Taurus. These are the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac, which are the fourfold nature of a human being. Aquarius is air, which is your mind, your mental body. Scorpio is water, which is your emotional body. Taurus is earth, which is your physical body. Leo is fire, which is your spiritual body. Matthew is Aquarius, which is air, the mental body of consciousness. Matthew portrays Jesus as intellectual and communicative, which is the nature of air, your mental body. Mark is the lion, which is Leo, the fire. Gospel of Mark shows Jesus with passion and divine leadership and power. Mark depicts Jesus as the Son of God, which is spirituality and inspiration. Luke is Taurus, which is the earth element, the physical body. Luke portrays Jesus as the man, service and compassion. Luke emphasizes Jesus' concern for physical and material needs of others. Gospel of John is Scorpio, which is water, the emotional aspect of our consciousness. John shows Jesus doing miracles and shows Jesus as intuitive and transformative. These 4 Gospels represent the 4 aspects of human consciousness. Jesus is the sun, which represents your soul. 12 disciples around the one. 12 zodiacs around the sun. These are energies of your consciousness. As within, so without. Everything outside of you is inside of you. They are not just dreams, it has a much deeper meaning. Dreaming is a low-powered astral projection. If you saw Jesus in your dream, this is not Jesus. It's your subconscious mind creating reality in the astral plane. If you saw Jesus, it's your belief materializing coming to yourself. This is why your dreams carry hidden messages. There is a screen in your mind where you can imagine things. This is a whole other realm called the astral plane. You were astral before you had a physical body. It's the realm of infinite possibilities where the mind creates anything it wishes. The third eye is the mind, and the mind can see into the astral plane, and this is why we call it an eye. You have been led to believe that you are only physical, which keeps your mind stuck in 3-dimensional awareness. You can advance physically and you can advance mentally, accessing higher planes of consciousness. If you can't control your dreams, this is your subconscious creating the dream. You need to use your conscious mind so that you have control in the astral plane and do whatever you wish. You are a multi-dimensional creature. You will never die. Death is an illusion. Turmeric was made to hide the truth about ginger. Ginger is the original turmeric. Turmeric is a GMO. Human body is nature. GMOs like turmeric is not nature, therefore your body will not recognize it. Body only recognizes food that is produced by the earth. Every time you eat something unnatural, it causes inflammation within the body, which then weakens the organs over time. Food is specifically designed to look like the body parts it's beneficial for. This is for the stomach. Raspberries is for the blood, this is why it's red. Blueberries is for the eyes, ears is for mushrooms, tomatoes for the heart, grapes is for the lungs, and walnuts for the brain. Your body does not recognize any of these foods because they are GMO, they're not good for you. Did you know cans are laced with a BPA plastic lining? Fragrance can be up to 10,000 toxic synthetic chemicals. Plastic chopping boards put plastic in your food, and non-stick pans are coated with Teflon, which is a lifelong chemical. Toilet paper uses chlorine to bleach the paper. You could eat the most healthiest diet in the world, but if you think and feel negative, this destroys your health. The body follows the mind. The mind is the root cause of all reality. You can think your way into illness. See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. Protect your mind at all costs because your life is an externalization of your mind. I've had many questions about Shilajit. I personally do not take it. If you want to learn more about health and wonder what this book is called, it's called The Human Health Guide. You can get the PDF in my bio. Beatles blew up, everyone dressed hippie. Music creates your character. It's a form of hypnosis. The words, the beats manipulate your emotions, making you become emotionally addicted. Look at someone, you know what music they listen to. Drill music blew up in 2015. So did the knife crime. This is not a coincidence. Music is a weapon to influence society. Music is the soundtrack to the movie of your life. It's the fastest way to reprogram your subconscious mind. It puts you in a hypnotic trance. Your mind creates reality, you just don't know how. You probably don't know what books to read, but I've got a library. You want longer videos, so join the university. You're cursing yourself if you do this. It's the Antichrist cross, which represents the brain and the heart and cutting the connection. The reason why this is bad is because the heart and the brain are directly connected. In fact, the heart has its own neural network of 40,000 specialized cells, which are the same ones in your brain. So the heart is your second brain. However, the cranial brain has two hemispheres, therefore thinking with it can cause confusion and dualism. The heart has an intelligence of its own, just like the brain. However, it's a singular organ. It does not have two hemispheres. So when we say follow your heart, This is a deep meaning because the heart has an intelligence of its own which is guiding you. And this is why Jesus is always pointing at the heart. In Freemasonry, the heart is symbolized as the book because the heart intelligence is what you need to read to guide you through this life experience. The heart is what tells you what is right and what is wrong. And when you follow your heart long enough, it takes you to your life purpose. It's easy to listen to your heart intelligence. You have to turn off the thoughts, place your hand on your heart just like Jesus is, and this will tell you the right answer. They don't want us connected to our hearts because we are all an infinite consciousness expressed in different bodies, and love is the unifying force that will bring humanity together.